Can you just tell us his name? And then two, Usain Bolt was the face of track and field for so long, and I think won the 6 gold medals. Is that something you aspire to, world records and being the face of track and field in the future?
His name is Kebonyi Mudisados Musimanyane, and I think for me, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or a loud person like Noah. So I believe Noah is the face of athletics.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW. Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. #MSW.
Oh man, the Olympic Games are done.
All the Olympics inside track.
Tatiana Smith cuts through the clutter.
All the news, all the views, and all the action. Right here on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Oh, what a swim.
#MSW with Marawa.
The race explodes into life. Good start by Canada on the outside with Brown. Oh, that was a terrible exchange between Coleman and Benarek, and their aspirations are over. Canada on the outside. Great Britain just coming round that bend with the Americans in hot pursuit and the French in touch. This is anybody's. Canada on the outside, Japan on the inside, and look at the Italians and Great Britain coming through. Oh, this is close, and it's de Grasse. Andre de Grasse once again proves he is the master of the big occasion. Everything was happening on the inside. Simine and the South Africans finally get a medal with the silver, but the Canadians ignored everything that was going on inside them, and they have stormed to victory. And at last, Akani Simbine is an Olympic medalist.
And we can only celebrate that, man. Congratulations to Team South Africa. Akani Simbine running the final leg of the men's 4x100 meter relay to help carry his country across the line to the silver medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Where were you? Where were you watching? What's your reaction? Please drop us a WhatsApp voice note 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. What a dramatic weekend. What a closing ceremony last night. And if you want to touch on any of those points, also the achievements and the successes of the Team South African athletes, please feel free. This is especially on a Monday. It is your show. You own it. We want to hear from you. It is Reaction Monday, 011-883-8947. Otherwise, send us a WhatsApp voice note 060-708-0484. So Simbine is a 3-time Olympian, having finished 5th back in 2016 at the Rio final, and then finding himself in the worst position in sports, 4th in an Olympic final, not once but twice, at the Tokyo 2020 and also Paris 2024. But then, hey, afterwards, the South African speedster couldn't hide his sheer delight.
It sounds like an Olympic medalist, man. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we came out here, we ran, we got a medal, we got a silver medal, and we got an African record to top that up, So, yeah, for me, it's just finally I got a major championship medal, and yeah, I'm just hungry for more, and I'm excited, and I'm happy for the guys and happy for our country. My career has not been about the medals, it's just been about a lot of consistency, and I've shown that I will always be there. I'll show that, I will be an athlete that will step up to the plate, and I'll fight, my name will always be there, and, the medal is just the cherry on top. I've proven myself to the game, I've proven myself to my competitors, and that for me is enough, and I'm inspiring a new generation in Africa, that's really huge, and I don't take it very lightly, and it's really great, and now I just have a medal to add to that, but that doesn't describe me, I'm a sprinter, I'm an athlete, but I think this medal is just for everyone that has wished the medal upon me, It's from different countries, it's from South Africa, it's from Africa, America, from the whole world, So my medal belongs to everyone, and everybody that has wished upon me, and
And you can hear in his voice the excitement. Simine, who joined in the celebrations, though, which lasted long into the night by his teammates who played their part, though, in a memorable performance. Guys, listen, Ubayanda Walaza is still 18 years old. Young man still at school, doing matric, and he's got a silver medal. Sean Masanganyi is a two-time Olympian at the age of 23. And you look at Bradley Nkwana, is only 19 years old. The future, as Simine was saying, really, really looks bright.
Yeah, it's an exhilarating feeling just to come out here with the guys. I'm so proud of these guys. We just came out today. We knew we could show out. We put out 37.9 yesterday in the prelims. With a few mistakes, we knew we were going to go faster. We're aiming for the gold, but, we'll settle for the silver right now. We know that there's more to come. There's still another Olympics. There's still more young guys coming through the ranks. And just for guys like AK, I know it's a special moment for him. It's a special moment for these two guys, two youngsters. He's still in high school, like I always say. He got math next week. He's still in university. We the quote-unquote vets. So just to come out here and put on a show for Africa. And we saw what Litile did yesterday. We knew we couldn't let him have all the shine. But we're proud of our guy. And just to bleed green and gold every day, it's so special to us.
Yes, for me, like I don't know, like it's kind of scary because of I know sometimes when I go back to school, everyone be like, ah! So like I just have to adjust to it, and I'm truly happy of being this. I'm truly happy of being in this team. Like I truly appreciate being here, and like I'm truly thankful for what's going on, for what's happening, and like thank you. Like that's all I can say.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for bringing me here, and I want to thank my coach for believing in me and being hard on me because that's the reason why I'm here. And I would like to say again, thank God, thank my family back at home, the ones that are watching, my grandma, my aunts, everyone. But yeah, it's a special moment for me, especially at the beginning of my career, and I want to take this opportunity to say to everyone that anything is possible, no matter how young or old you are, you just have to believe.
Oh man, the withdrawal symptoms already kicking in as far as the Olympics are concerned. If you watched the marathon, the men's marathon, you'd have seen Elroy Galant, one of two South Africans in the men's marathon race. Well, he started taking strain at about the 30-kilometer mark, but he battled manfully over the last 12 kilometers and sticking to his task and also coming across the line in 11th position. Now, a wonderful effort showing that at the age of 37, the best is still to come. Great achievement, Elroy. This was Galant's moment, though, and he reflected on what he'd just done over the sapping 42.2-kilometer route, and he admitted, though, that the hills kind of got the better of him.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy race. Yesterday I did course inspection, and I saw this is a killer course, but at least it helped me a little bit in terms of, just preparation, in terms of what to expect. And I think it really helped yesterday to do a route inspection, especially with the killer hills. Yesterday we drove the last hill, there by 27, 28 kilometers, and I saw it's a killer. It's worse than two oceans, but I think I was mentally a little bit prepared, but it still was a little bit tough because obviously the move was made on that hill, and I just didn't have the legs to go with. But I'm still pleased with my performance. I said my goal is a top 15, and I managed to get it. Tough conditions, especially with the heat as well, coming from winter. But I'm pleased with my performance. We could have done a little bit better, I think, in terms of preparation maybe. But yeah, I'm satisfied with this from last Olympics. I think 33 or 34th, in terms of a little bit of strength training. But it's difficult. Sometimes you can overdo it by doing too much hills, so you need to have the balance. And I maintain in terms of the hills training. But obviously, I think in terms of it needs more a professional approach, I think in terms of camps, maybe 3, 4, 6 months camps. But yeah, I think it's still good. If you look at the likes of Bekele and Kipchoge and them, look how tough it was for them also. And they're in a professional setup, and we're in a semi-professional setup. So I think for me today was just mentally toughness. But yeah, that could have been done better if we had maybe a little bit more of a professional setup, I would say.
Yeah, we need that professional setup, and I'm sure the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture is listening to what the athletes are saying, because we do need to improve. Despite the great individual showings, we really need to improve as a nation. We can do it, guys, we can. Maybe if you have any thoughts about how we can improve as far as the Olympic Games and such related events, then drop us a line. But some of the individual performances, like I talk about, the likes of Stephen Mokuka, I mean, he's in his fourth Olympics, was in the chasing group for a very long way before also feeling the pace, the hills and the heat. The temperature even touched 30 degrees Celsius. That kind of got to him as well. But still, the 39-year-old dipped under 2:11 with a 2:10.59, and also his best Olympic return, though, of his four. So if you go back to London, he clocked 2:19.52, and then at Tokyo 2020, he didn't finish.
Even though I expected more than that, but I can say the minimum goal was to finish because the previous one I did not finish. But I'm grateful that I even finished like somewhere around 2:10, late 2:10, which is one of the best results. I think Elroy ran, I'm not sure if it's 2:8 or 2:9, but that's what a good time for a South African. We have never seen a South African running closer to that. I mean, we have never, that time, I mean, even Babjasa, when he won up 2:10 and above, I think somewhere around 2:11. But it shows that the competition is very tough, so I'm grateful. No, it's tougher. It's tougher, especially the last hill, where it was the highest point. I thought it's going to be easier, but the difference is that it's not as hard as I thought. But it's tougher because we are running at a high pace. You know, coming here, I thought maybe we'll go on that hill maybe around 4 minutes, but I saw us running like 3:15 to 3:45 on the hill. So I can just say it was tough. I can say not that far. I mean, we saw Elroy did very well. I mean, he held on there and he was in the lead for a very long time. So it shows, I mean, him finishing within top 20 as well. It's good. I mean, he missed out in top 10, which is, but it's good. It's good results. So I can say we came with a plan and then we executed. And then I can say in terms of marathon now, I mean, we have Elroy now. He did well in the major, so he's one of the best, one of the best. So I can say we are closing up. We just need to get some things there and then, and at the end of the day, all will be well.
Yeah, some good news stories, man. 3 South African marathoners took to the streets and the hills on the final day of the competition at the 2024 Paris Olympics, and all 3 finished a grueling 42.2-kilometer route in suffocating heat. Now, all 3 have their own stories to tell. And of these South Africans, it was Sian Oldno who fared best. She crossed the line in 32nd position in 2:30.29, somewhat 7 minutes 34 seconds off the gold medal, and also 7:19 off the bronze.
It's a really hard route out there. I was feeling good most of the way. The hills are definitely tough. And those last 3Ks I had a fuss bait. My legs were on fire. So a few girls passed me in the last little bit, but I was just trying to hang on, and I'm glad I hung on like I did. I'm really happy with my time, happy with my position as well. So it was a great race, very amazing experience. We definitely moving up to marathon. I think I'll stick to that as my main distance at the moment. I'm loving them. They're hard, but they're very rewarding. I love the distance.
Oh man, spirit thought for Joanne van Dijk, man, achieving Team South Africa's 6th Olympic medal at the Stade de France on Saturday night without much effort. That's how natural she is. But the sad part is that she's done all of this without much support as well from the official structures back home, relying instead on much needed help from her parents.
Well, Van Dijk hoping to follow in the footsteps of the great Sunette Viljoen, who got a silver in Rio for South Africa. 63.93. Very close to her lifetime best. Could she challenge Kitaguchi here? She's in a rich vein of form. It's another great effort, but I don't think that will be an improvement. Although actually, well, no, I think that will be close to, but not in excess of her silver medal winning effort so far. As we close in on the 6th and final round. 62.07. It's another good effort.
Well, I mean, she had attended her first Olympics back in Tokyo and was eliminated in the qualifying rounds with the best of 57.69 meters. And here she was, 3 years older, 3 years wiser, and a different athlete entering the prime of her career.
I dreamed for it. Didn't expect it. I expected. I hoped for it, and I'm just still amazed. Not really. I knew what some of the other girls were capable of, so I knew in throws it's up until the last row. You can't be sure of anything. So only until the 4th girl threw, and I knew I was in the medals. Then I started thinking, whoa, I have a medal. It was just crazy. Just seeing everyone in the crowd. I haven't seen my fiance He cried, everybody cried. It was just amazing. I'm just happy for our country and I'm happy for the team.
Well done, Joanne. I want to hear from you as well. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts as we reflect back on the Olympic Games? It is a Monday. It is Reaction Monday.
Evening, Robert. Robert, I'm happy concerning our athletes there in the Olympics. Really, it shows that they are in for it. It's good to see them collecting medals. Also, Robert, I'm happy for my team, Kaizer Chiefs. I think we're going to get some of the players and we're going to have a good season. Thank you, Robert. Lovely show.
All right. Thank you so much, Baba. Voice notes that are coming in for the Olympic Games. Voice notes coming in from the MTN 8. Voice notes coming in from the Springboks. Basketball. You name it. There was a lot happening over the weekend. And I think a lot of us weren't focused 100% on something beautiful that was happening in Pretoria. Tshwane was a buzz. The daisies were blossoming. I'll tell you all about that when we come back from the break, because they are in studio and we'll share some of those moments. But otherwise, feel free, guys. It is a Monday. Share with us some of your thoughts, your disappointments, your highlights from the weekend. Reaction Monday continues.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Would you like to earn real money back? Lotto Star's Star Rewards is here to put real money back in your pocket. Simply place your bets on any of our thrilling games and earn as you bet. To date, we've paid out over 170 million rand in Star Rewards to our lucky players. It could be you. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Building a successful business can be tough, which is why you need the best resources to drive it forward. Cash Build and Suzuki Auto are here to give you a boost. Spend 1,000 Rand or more at selected Cash Build stores and stand a chance to win a Suzuki Eco panel van or a Suzuki Super Carry. The Eco offers extra cargo space and fuel efficiency, while the Super Carry boasts a 750 kilogram load capacity and dependable performance. It's time to drive your business forward. Competition starts 22nd of July 2024. Visit suzukiauto.co.za for everything extra.
Welcome aboard Air Mobile, the new way to mobile. Expect a seriously easy experience. We took what's wrong with mobile and made it right. We've ditched things like crazy fees, expensive contracts, and overall nonsense. Up here, the data stays fresher for longer. No more expiring after 1 month. Plus, with eSIM, you can connect in minutes. Refer a friend and you both get 5 gigabytes of mobile data. Visit airmobile.co.za to get connected. T's and C's apply.
Ready to make your grocery shopping more rewarding? With African Bank's international award-winning Audacious Rewards program, earn up to 5% in points when you shop at ShopRite and Checkers with your African Bank card, thanks to the bank that backs you. Switch at your nearest branch and enjoy Audacious Rewards. Rewards you can count on. African Bank, audacity to believe. African Bank Limited is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
I know it's our first date, but I bought you a gift.
Wow, it's really big.
Go ahead, open it.
Okay. Oh my, it's a dining chair.
Not just any dining chair, the Edison dining chair, just $5.99 from Decofern Furniture.
Oh, it's really beautiful.
You're as beautiful as this chair. Find your true love with Decofern Furniture's incredible price-to-clear deals on chairs, sofas, coffee tables, mattresses, and more. In-store now or at decofernsa.co.za.
There's been no electricity for a week because my neighbors overloaded the transformer with their illegal connection. My daughter can't study at night because my neighbor blew our transformer by bridging his meter. My neighbors have been buying electricity from illegal vendors and using it carelessly. We live amongst them and allow them to vandalize vital electricity infrastructure. We need to stop that. Report illegal connections to Eskom on 0800 112722 or the SAPS. Save your transformer. Save lives.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
With the executive head at Curio, which is in Hazeldean, Pierre Leroux. He has the next generation literally staring us in the eye. That is Mayanda Walaza. So how are you going to handle the superstar, Pierre, when he gets back to school?
He is a humble young man and is a brilliant role model for the rest.
the rest of the learners at school. And what he's done is to get all our learners at school to believe that, you can dream big. Anything is possible. And he doesn't walk around with a chip on his shoulder.
As soon as he gets back, he heads, to South America, to Lima in Peru for the Under-20 World Championships, though. That's going to be stretching over about 3 days.
And we've had already meetings with the IB. That's the exam he gets right at the end of the year, making sure that we put systems in place.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
And Rob, for my Reaction Monday, I just want to say the Olympic Games delivered inspiring performances, heartbreaking setbacks and defeats. A victory with humility by Lietzi Tebogo has to be something memorable about this Olympics. But my moments of the Olympics has to be Tatiana's gold medal victory, the relay team silver medal with Akani Simbine and the crew, Safina Hassan's explosive finish in the women's marathon after winning a bronze medal in both 5,000 and 10,000 meters. But Rob, with 149 athletes and 6 medals gained, I think tough conversations have to be held, because I think we are punching below our weight as a country, looking at the potential that we've got. But thank you so much. Great Olympics. Looking forward to the upcoming ones in the next few years. Thank you so much, Tebogo.
Good afternoon to you, Rob. Good afternoon to your listeners. It's Reaction Monday. Mzi here, Teben Emlas. Robert, this past weekend we saw MTN 8 games, Orlando Pirates winning that games at extra time. Also, we saw the Mamelodi Sundowns playing against Polokwane City. Polokwane City should have won that game, but I don't know what happened to that game, but they should have won it. If it wasn't about that own goal, Polokwane City will be playing against Stellenbosch. And also, Mamelodi Sundowns is not doing very well on that game. I don't know, maybe it was weather because it was hot, or maybe Mr. Roland is not there. I don't know. There's a lot of things that have changed. The style of football that are playing now have changed. And also, if Sundowns is going to play like that against Stellis, they're not going to the final. I'm telling you, Rob, if they're going to play like the way they play against Polokwane City, they are not going to final. Thanks, Rob. Nice show.
Hi, good evening to you, Mr. Marawa and your team. My Monday reaction, I'd like to say congratulations for Mamelodi Sundowns for reaching the semis of the MTN 8. Yes, some are talking about the own goal, but when we lift this cup, nobody will remember the own goal. Yes, we played well. We created lots of opportunities. The downside is that we didn't utilize those opportunities. Otherwise, we played well. We created lots and lots of opportunities, meaning that the team will gel well soon. Thanks, David in Parkwood.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
Yeah, I did warn you, plenty that happened over the weekend, so we don't even know where to start, guys. But mix it all up. Send us your WhatsApp voice notes. Also, don't forget to call us directly in studio, 011-888-947. We've also got a trophy here in studio. It's not the first time this trophy has made its way to our studios. It happened last season, and it's happening again this season. It just means that there's a level of consistency with the ladies, man. And they may be called the Daisies, but I tell you what, there's absolutely nothing simple and innocent about them whenever they are on the pitch. Now, the Bulls Daisies once again demonstrated their dominance in the women's Premier Division. They secured a decisive victory in the final against a determined Western Province side at Loftus Versfeld. Now, the 36-17 scoreline clearly reflects the home team's prowess. They dominated, yes. Were there moments where they would have been worried? Of course they were. That's the beautiful game of rugby. Now, throughout the season, the Daisies have delivered exceptional performances. They've set new standards for women's rugby since turning professional last year. And their impressive track record is, without a doubt, an absolute model for others to follow. And with just one defeat this year, the Pretoria team has triumphed in every match over the past 2 seasons. Join us as we celebrate these champions. And of course, they are champions. So what do we do with champions? And she's agreeing with me. She might not be saying it, but I can see. Hey, Jackie Saliers is agreeing and says, got no time for losers. You don't have time for losers, do you?
No. There's no time for losers.
That's why you're here tonight. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
You're a champ again. What's the feeling?
I can't explain the feeling. Like so many people asked, what do you feel being the second time in a row champion? I think the reality didn't kick in yet, but it's a great feeling though.
What's the difference? I mean, I talk about all these stats. You guys losing just once. You went the entire season last season. You didn't know what defeat was. You couldn't spell the words. And here you are again, back with the trophy.
Yeah, I mean, the one defeat we had in the season, we learned a lot as a team, and we started playing for each other after that defeat. So we needed that defeat to be the champions. But backing ourselves, being the second time champions, we did it.
Was that belief there, though? Because sometimes, complacency kicks in.
Yes, I think belief played a big role in the win on Saturday, and playing for each other. I mean, if we're not playing for each other or for ourselves or for our families, the defeat, no.
Jeez, I mean, you've had such a remarkable career. We'll talk about that because there's such individual stories, a lot that we can listen to and hear and be motivated. And the thing sometimes, when you talk about women's rugby and having seen it as well in the Olympic Games stage, and I start to think that the game has grown so much. I don't know what your opinion is. I don't know what you feel about it. I don't know what you made even of the Olympic Games performances.
Yeah, I mean, your rugby is busy changing in our country for women. There's still a long road to go, but it's busy changing, and you can see it everywhere in schools, in young girls that want to play rugby, and the roles we are playing as rugby players on national level, at provincial level. So it's really, really starting to change and make a turn.
Make a turn it does, because, she's got to catch all those high balls. We go deep into the scrum now. Hey? Vaina Ubisi is here, Daisy's lock. Good evening and welcome, champ.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. You were also singing very loud to that song and you were feeling the vibe. Tell me about it. How does it feel a couple of hours after being crowned?
Here, I was so happy, to be honest, and then there was no way we could.
Yeah, just inviting it closer to the microphone. Don't be scared of it.
Yeah, it was such a great feeling. Having to be a double champion. Yeah. So I think the feeling after a few hours of being crowned, going out with friends to celebrate the win, and then all the hard work that we've put in over the last few months, I think we really deserved it.
Let's talk about partnerships, though, because it's important. You and Sinelita have formed this great partnership. What does that build, just in terms of your personal relationship and then what you ultimately bring out on the field?
Sinelita, I've played with her since 2022. I've partnered with her when we were at the junior box, and I think she's a great player. Yeah. And then having her in the field, I don't want to lie, she does motivate me because she's such a hard worker. She does not give up. So she sometimes pushes me when I'm playing with her, like when I feel like giving up, and then she's there telling me, Vaina, we have to go on, we have to keep on going. And then I also feel like I shouldn't let her down because I think she's also looking up to me. Mm. So I have to just keep on going. I think she's such a great player to play with. She's so great.
I mean, you talk about giving up. It hasn't been part of your guys' vocabulary at all. Let's go back to halftime. Mm-hmm. Was there a feeling of what? You go into the change room, you've played out for 40 minutes, and you're wondering now, what next? Give me a feeling, give me a sense of the change room at halftime.
What can I say? Going back into the changing room at halftime, it was like, yes, we did play the first 40, but then we still have another 40 waiting for us. So we we have to keep on going. We have to, when we go back in there, it will just be like we're starting the 40 now. Nothing has happened in the next 40. Now we have to focus on this one. And then we have to go all out. Even we did go in the changing room with 17-0, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. But then that didn't mean anything. It was like a 0-0 to us because 17-0 is such a what can I say? It's
not a big margin.
Yes.
Anything can happen still.
Yes. And then it almost happened because Western Province came back for us just few minutes after a half time. So yeah, and then when that happened, I was like, yo. Hi.
Throw the problem at Jackie, but I mean, she's in the heart, she's in the center, she's got to be creative. You got to, at sometimes, turn on the magic because you have to gain the territory, gain the advantage, strategic kicking, kick for poles, and so on. At that stage, as Vina is saying that when Western Province started putting on the heat, what was going through your mind in terms of tactics?
When they scored 2 tries in a small town, in so little time, I started thinking, wow, we just need to defend our try line and try everything in our
in your power to come back.
To come back. But the girls stuck to it and we pulled through. Like everyone played so well on Saturday, and we just went on giving our best.
That final whistle, it blows. What goes through your mind?
We did it.
Yeah.
Like we did it. After a long season, after, like everyone said, blood, sweat and tears. It was really blood, sweat and tears. Like we grinded every week, went out there, like focusing on the next job, forget about what happened. And everyone just played a big role. And after the whistle blown, like just realizing we did it.
The relief.
Yes.
I know it's very family orientated. I was at the final last year. I couldn't make it this year, unfortunately. But I had seen, families go out, they support the players individually, especially the home team. Did you have family come through? I know you're from the Free State, though. Maybe they have traveled, they have hope, they want to see you lift that trophy. Give me a sense of who was attending and who were the first people that you reached out to.
So my mom and my dad and my brother, they were at the final on Saturday. They drove the morning and they came to support me. And then my mom had a nephew also attending the game. And obviously there's a lot of family members that maybe watched it on TV. But firstly, my mom and dad and brother that came through and supported me on Saturday.
Wow. Well done to them. Hey, I mean, that's a bit of a trip to make, but it's a worthwhile trip, especially when you guys are favorites to win it. Some of us were finding time in between the Olympic Games to switch on and watch, and then you flick back to the Olympics. So there was a great deal happening on Saturday. Vina, you walked off with the player of the match. So congratulations, firstly. Hey,
thank you.
And it ultimately just shows, yes, it's a team sport, but as an individual, the commentators are watching. They're going to make the call in terms of who deserves the award. Did you expect it?
To be honest, I wasn't thinking about player of the match at that moment.
Yeah.
That game was so challenging. It was so tough. I did not even think about what's happening after playing player of the match or whatever. But then I think I've put so much work. I've really worked hard on that game. I really did my best. So obviously, after watching the game yesterday, I did watch the game, but then I feel like I feel like I did deserve it because I really played that game. So, yeah, but then I was not expecting it, to be honest.
So you harden yourself, which is a beautiful thing, because if you watch it, you say, maybe I needed to improve here and there. It means you're not somebody that says, I should, I must. You're like, you have to fight for it.
Yes.
I love that. And I think from your side, Jackie, the most points scored in the Premier League in a season. Again, you just keep breaking those records. Congratulations to you too, because we've got to highlight these individual performances and achievements.
Thank you so much.
What has been the difference for you just in terms of your consistency?
I think I made a point of it to focus on my kicking. I love kicking. It's not like, now I need to kick. I really like kicking. So I made a point in saying, okay, this year I'm really going to focus on my kicking. And if I get the opportunity to be the kicker for the season, then I'm going to work on it and try my best to improve each weekend. And the consistency just came with me focusing on my process. Yes, there was times that I struggled a bit into kicking to the balls maybe or to the touchline or something, but I just focus on the process and focus on what coaches told me over the last couple of weeks.
The beautiful thing about both of you is that there's a process where whatever you're doing at club level is seen by the national team, and you get to the national team and things get improved over there. And one of my favorite all-time players and a legend in his own right, Louis Kuhn, is somebody that you've worked very closely with and you work very closely with, and he tells you all about the visualization of what to do. So I've heard and read up a lot about how he's approached the kicking game with you. Sometimes people want to do the difficult things first, and he says, no, do the easier thing first. Place the ball where we think we ought to see you scoring. And then if you score, mentally that improves you. And then you get to the difficult ones, you widen it out to the wings, to the touchline, and therefore you start to trust the process. Do you believe you've been able to do that?
Yes, I've learned so much from Coach Lukun. He just said to me the one time, he trusts me and he backs me, and that meant a lot to me. With him helping me also with my kicking this year and last year, working on the small little detail made a big difference in the kicking.
I love that. The ladies are here. Give them a call. Send them a WhatsApp voice note. Celebrate with them. The champions are here. Back-to-back champions. Via OBC, the Bulls Daisies lock and also Bulls Daisies Center. Jackie Saliers is here. Tando Manana. After the break, he's the man that's turned the magic. I don't know how he does it because I think he lost about 14 players last season. But look at what's happened this season again. He's the Bulls Special Projects Manager.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
With SuperSport, you can get all the football you want because we've got it all on every package from Channel 201 to 205. Get all the leagues, all the cups, all the matches live from the Premier League to the Betway Premiership. All the derbies, all your favorite stars live. Because when it comes to football, there's only one place to watch it all. And that's on your World of Champions, SuperSport, only on DSTV, your home of football.
Live your best life with the new Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Flip 6. Become a language connoisseur with Interpreter that translates real-time conversations with ease. Discover a new way to search images using Circle to Search with Galaxy AI. Buy now and get an accessories voucher with up to 2,000 Rand on us and up to 15,000 Rand back when you trade in. Valid until 31 August 2024. Make wow moments an everyday thing with Galaxy AI. T's and C's apply.
So, when you drop off the kids in a new Citroen C3 Aircross SUV up onto Bazotini, school principals will say, keep up the good work, as you park smoothly, assisted by your standard rear-view camera. Even school bullies will say, hey son, here's your lunch money back, as your kid leaps out of a car with 200mm ground clearance. Up onto Bazoti, room for one more. And then you'll say, of course, my darling, it's Citroen. Simply more, now standard.
We all know how dry and itchy your skin can feel in the winter months. Epimax believes that in order to look good, you must first feel good, and has a skincare product for every member of your family. For baby, for you, and even for grandpa's cracked heels. So, don't hide your skin this winter. Feel good with Epimax. Get it for you and your family at any shop or pharmacy.
Medical aid changes, they're normally like this. We've just had a little girl and I want to add it to my policy.
going to have to ask her some security questions. It's company policy. What is your mother's maiden name?
At Bonitas, we make our plans flexible so you can add members easily as your life changes. Visit bonitas.co.za and get a quote today. When you need us, Bonitas. Medical aid for South Africa. T's and C's apply.
You've just closed a deal. Your business is about to boom, but you need cash quickly. Do you find a way to cut costs? Tap into your personal savings? Go to the bank with its long queues and pages of paperwork? No. Ask Lula. It's fast, easy Lula to get business funding of up to 5 million Rand in 24 hours. Apply online in minutes with no paperwork, no obligations, and no collateral needed. Apply today at lula.co.za and make cash flow.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
That's South African football legend Matthew Booth, together with Ubongani Mtombeni. What a touching story. I want to start right there, though, with Patrick's condition.
Ace had been invited to the younger game. He was very mischievous as a player.
Yes.
And he still hasn't lost it. I said to him, look, Ace, and I said, I hope you enjoy the game, Ace. And he said, Matthew, I'm not going to be able to see much of it. I can only see 10 meters in front of me. So I said to him, well, look, the way the Chiefs are playing at the moment, you're not going to miss much.
Press, right? My word, can you believe it?
So I said to him, look, when your vision improves, and it will, I'll take you to a Sundowns game. In jest, of course, guys.
Of course. I mean,
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Good morning, Mr. Rob. It's Ulifelang here, and agreement to the MSW shoulders. Reaction Monday. Here we are. An incredible long weekend, an incredible end to what has been such an exhilarating Paris Olympic Games. First of all, congrats to all the winners, especially Team SA getting that silver medal. Bayanda Walaza, Sean Maswanganyi, Akani Simbine, they were just absolutely amazing, and seeing them finally get to the podium, again, regardless of the color of the medal, for the fact that we were able to get on that podium, that was a big deal, especially for someone like Akani Simbine, who has been trying for so long, and he comes back home empty-handed. I think he deserves it more than most. So big ups to Team South Africa for that 4x100 meter victory. And again, congrats to all the winners in the Paris Olympic Games. Community Shield, Man United, they still need to do a lot of work. But big ups to Man City for getting it done. Very, very excited of the signings that they've made. I would just love to see how they are going to fare along, especially since Man United are going to be kicking off the English Premier League on Friday. So I really, really am intrigued to see how are things going to come together and how are things going to work. MTN8, very interesting semi-final. Cape Town City against Orlando Pirates. Mamelodi Sundowns against Stellenbosch. Interesting. It has been a great sporting weekend overall, Mr. Rob. And by the way, before I forget, big ups to the Springboks. They have got it done once again for the first time since, in the 1960s, that they finally get a victory at Australia. That is a big deal. So well done to them.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
Yeah, the box back on duty again this coming weekend. Looking forward to all of that. It's 12 minutes to the hour. It is hashtag MSW live on 947 Rise FM, Vuma FM, Sowetan Live. Also live on the YouTube channel as we speak. Lots of comments coming through there. You can watch, listen, and make your comments as well. Vina Ubisi, Bulls Daisies lock. The champ is here in studio. Also another champ in Bulls Daisies Center is Jackie Saliers, joined by Bulls Special Projects Manager Tando Manana, who's also here. The one and only Room Divider. I hope the ladies call you that. But hey, this is a very, very sacred space. Welcome, Room Divider.
Is that how you greet me nowadays, Ralph?
Vina loves this.
The RD. Yeah, well, they're used to something else, these ladies. But
what's your nickname? And hey, Jackie, what do you guys call your Special projects manager.
Yeah, I don't know what one and them call him, but we Mr. Manana or Mr. T or
so very formal.
Yeah, like just casual maybe also.
Jeez.
I don't know one.
Hey? What do you call? What's the nickname you guys maybe secretly call him?
He's Mfana to me.
Mfana. Hey, Mfana.
Yeah, she likes that word.
Mfana.
Yeah.
Can we use Mfana as well?
No, not you.
Not me.
Yeah. Okay, not you.
Because of that handshake that you have, I'll break my fingers.
I'll squash it. I'll squash it. Good to be back, Rob.
Good to see you, man. Firstly, congratulations. What a major feat. I mean, we got the trophy here. Beautiful as always. History in the making.
Yeah.
It's a double now.
Yeah, look, it was never easy for us. I mean, just after we'd come from your office or from the studio last year, we got then the news that some of our girls were invited for the sevens.
Yeah.
And that was about 9 to 10 of them, and we never saw them from there. So I think for me, the work started in earnest to just sort of find sort of replacement that will come in and just make sure that the team has that continuation within them. I think one of the things is last year in the season, they didn't lose anything. And I mean, now you're going to have players that really, we're going to struggle with good players that sort of come in and replace those players that were there. And I mean, you speak of Zintle Mpupa, you speak of so many of them that left us, Maria Chiremba, Shaniqua Lambrecht, Kat de Vries. The number was just so much for us. So I think we started off very well in terms of, for me, it's always been about the pathway. So the Bulls quite have a good pathway in terms of women's clubs. And we sort of held our first trials where we sort of wanted to look who would really be, one of the best coming out from the amateur setup and to really come in and just sort of fuse in with these ladies because they're at a professional stage. So we'd sort of inconvenience them because now we had amateur players mixed with professional players. So I think they would come in from home, whether it's Soshanguve, Mamelodi, Atteridgeville, or in Centurion. But then these players would always be on time, but you'll always find that there's always excuses from the amateur, rightfully so, because they're not used to starting training at about 8, 8:30 up until 3. So we had to make those adjustments. But I think as we went in and they started understanding just how, the high performance environment works, where it talks of proper nutrition, good conditioning, amateur players, they lack on those two fronts. So for us was a matter of just getting them up to speed with where the ladies are. And also I think what made it worse is we had Jackie, we had Viner also going on tour, just before we had our competition. So it made things a little bit worse because we couldn't use them. And when they came back, it was a big sigh of relief ahead of a border, in East London. I think we didn't start off well, we have to say. But I think, like Jackie says, they play for each other. They understand what's at stake. And they just did the job graciously. And I think what is important is the amateur players did ever so well. I mean, last year I awarded 2 amateur players from the Emerging Daisies with full-time professionals, Patience Mukone and Rachel Duplessis. And I mean, Patient was a star in her own making alongside these 2 ladies as well. So, we keep on rewarding excellence as well. And I think this year we've seen some very nice names coming up as well that, caught some eyes. And we want to give back to Praetorians. We want to give back to the local BBRU clubs for just making sure we had that pathway. I think, Rob, in women's rugby, as much as we are more of a professional setup, but what we haven't forgotten is that, the amateur league and the amateur side of things plays a huge importance. And I just want to thank the supporters from Pretoria and its surroundings for coming out and supporting the team last Saturday.
And it's important to get the right talent. And when you talk about trying to fill the gaps of those that have moved on, and, there's unique stories. I think Viner has a unique story. Jackie has a unique story. Somebody who's played netball in the Northwest University, had interest in cricket. You find that she could have played anything.
Yes.
Because sports people are like that. But the attraction of rugby brought her there. So you find that, at Leopard's first season, she plays 2021, wins, the player of the year. And it already shows, for me, that at times it might take time, but the minute you find your calling within rugby, it is there. And that is why we always try and use this platform as a clarion call to parents who might be doubting to say, yes, there is an opportunity for you. As a lady listening to this, if you have a little thing in the back of your mind that maybe you might be interested, then you do it, surely.
Yeah, look, I think it's difficult for the women's game. You know, it's not like the boys or the young men. There's no Craven Week. You know, there's no Grand Como to speak of. What you actually depend on, you depend for those young girls, the YTC, which is your youth training centers from the various provinces, and therefore means that you've got to wait for that girl to want to play the game. Then she joins the YTC. It becomes difficult also with the box mart, where age comes in and does not allow you, if you sort of under the age of 20, to play in the senior women's league. So there's a waiting period. But I think from that front, we heavily rely on the interest of the kids and their role models, Jackie, Vina, and the rest of these ladies, and they'll help to grow the game. I think one thing we must also emphasize is that in the Sevens Paris competition in Olympics, you had 66,000 watching just purely women's sevens, and that's a world record on its own. I think in this country, I firmly believe that South Africa in 4 to 5 years can become a big force. If you look at 2029 going to the Australian World Cup with such talent. Vina is 21 years. She's 21 years. You know, when she came last year, I didn't answer her SMS because I knew she wanted to come to the Bulls, but it took a week for me to answer her, because also, you know, it's not easy when you want to come into such a setup and pull up your hand. And it's also good to note that both of these players are national players. Vina has been awarded with a national contract. That's good for her. I think she grows and becomes, I think she'll play 100 tests for South Africa. That's my hope and wish. But I think for the rest also, Rob, is, women's rugby is such a big feat, in a sense that, they've qualified for the World Cup. So I think ambitions from them is to make the trip to England for 2025 in England, but also not forgetting that they do have the Bulls, that first is their go-to. And we want to thank them as BBCO for their commitment and really getting us over the finish line, mixed with Emerging Daisies and them. And that for me was really the pinnacle, is just to see how they groove together and they really, really stuck it out. Western Province beat us in Cape Town. I was there. Yeah. And I too learned a lot of lessons, is that in life you can never sort of, let your guard down. You've got to always watch. I mean, those were young kids and they had the youth exuberance. They tackled, these players, and the players were gutted on the plane back to Johannesburg. They couldn't believe what was in front of them. But to lift from a Monday and continue and still beat them convincingly in our second round robin and the final, I think the cherry's on top, and I think they know going forward that what they need to do.
I think just to wrap things, and I want your thoughts, Jackie, and coming through Vina as well, just from a national perspective, because you've got to take this now forward. You had a great test against Spain. We're not going to talk about the drama towards the end and what happened in that match, but I think you came out with flying colours. You put the decisive kick over. That was your 10th test that you played. So moving forward, though, what are your ambitions, both in terms of the Bulls and for playing for your country?
I would say for the Bulls, we are looking at a bigger picture. Hopefully we can get a URC for the women. But if that is in the long run, hopefully I really want to be a part of it. I think it's really special. And for the national team, we're still building, but I think we really showed what we are capable of. Yes, there's lots of things we need to work on, and still loads of water that needs to flow, but I think we are on the right path, and with the new coaches in the horizon, there's a lot of things we're gonna learn and work through as a team, as an individuals. So just to be part of it and be there and play for the national colours, really looking forward to it. And
it's achievable. That's the beautiful thing, is that you're in the prime time of your career right now, and I could say the same thing for you as well on the other side, Vina, where, as Mr. Manana has said, or what, Boiki, what do you call it? Vina, as Vina says that, finally we've got to congratulate you, because if you get your national team contract, that's also a big deal. What are your long-term and short-term plans?
My long-term plans, nationally or just
Yeah,
okay.
100%. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, as Yaki has said, that growing the game in South Africa, so I would like to be in a process, in a system, for quite some time.
Sure.
And then, as Pa have mentioned, that Mfana
Yes.
have mentioned that I might be one of the people who will get 100 caps for the national team. And then this is one thing that I've once had a chat about with Coach Louis last year when I go to the Springboks. And then he said to me, where do I see myself in the future with the Springboks? And then I told him that if it is possible, I want to be that Viner who has 100 caps for the national team.
Wow. I think that's very, very achievable. I think it's achievable for both of you. And more. And accolades. And as you say, if there's a URC for women, let's go in that direction. I think it really will show respect for the growth of the women's game. It's not just about Women's Month. We continuously recognize what happens on the field when it comes to rugby, and especially with women's dominance in rugby. Guys, I know this seems like a second half done. You've won. You're the champs. We thank you. We appreciate you. We congratulate you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, champs.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.